Welcome to Flash Show, a platform that I created where we talk about different aspects of life. If you are new on this platform, please go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Facebook. Follow me on different social media handles. And please, today, make sure you're with us till the end. Don't go away. We have a guest here on Flash Show. Stay tuned. Welcome back again to Flash Show. I rarely host this kind of guest that I have here on Flash Show, so please take a great time to spend good time with us so you can listen to this lady. And before I go any further, I'll give her time an opportunity to introduce herself.
Thank you, Flavia. My name's Lilian Kagwa Lugolovi, a wife, a mother, and a pastor's wife. I think that's what I can say for now.
All right. Thank you so much for accepting the invite to be here. So on this platform, we talk about different aspects of life, social life, economical life, spiritual stuff. She's a pastor's wife, of course, married, she said. And today I want us to talk from the heart. What does it mean being a pastor's wife? How does it feel? How was it to you? Or anyway, this is how I should start. Like, before you got married to him, was he a pastor or he was just like regular, ordinary person?
Before I got married to him, he was a pastor. And when he proposed to me, I didn't want to get married to him because I knew being a pastor's wife, your life is kind of confined. Don't do this, do this. You're limited to doing certain things. So I told him, I think I'm not interested because pastors, there's a lot that is expected out of a pastor's wife. And I don't think I have that is expected. But he insisted that I was the right person for him. Yeah.
So at what point did you say, okay, now this is it? Or how did you feel like, okay, now I should give in?
He gave me time to think about it because I told him, give me some time, I need to think about it. So when I thought about it, prayed about it, and looked at my, can I say, requirements of a person that I wanted, I realized I think he's the right person because he had almost everything that I had listed down. He was peace. I had peace every time I was with him. He was tolerant. He had everything that I really wanted. And I just had to calm down and accept what God had planned for me. So I accepted. I told him, okay. Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, like
I'm now in for it.
Like I've said, I would like I can't handle getting married to a pastor.
I know.
Because of my character, and you know, even if you try to hide and be like, okay, now I have to, I call it acting. I'll call it acting. Like, okay, I have now to sit like this. I have to behave like this, and you're hiding because I'm a pastor's wife. The true character comes out,
Yeah,
right?
you're right.
So, well, like if right now my husband says like decides to be a pastor's wife, I would rather a pastor, I would still be me. I want to be me because I mean now who doesn't know me? I will still be me. I don't know how I will try to. I don't know. But so what are some of those particular things that you are kind of scared of? Maybe like the lifestyle or whatever.
What scared me the most is living a life of faith. You know, with pastors, they never have money on them. They never have planned stuff, say, they've planned to build a house here. They plan to have a car. Everything around their life is about faith. Everything is about believing God. So that is what scared me the most. Now, taking children to school, that's faith. You have to trust God for, money. Eating at home, looking after me, that's faith. I mean, everything you have to trust God. So that is what scared me the most because the kind of life I was used to, it was this kind of life where I'm sure you plan for something.
Right.
How are you going to survive? You plan for your survival. You plan for how you're going to feed, how your life is going to move on. But living a life of faith was tough. Actually, after accepting him, I told him, indeed, I've only accepted by faith. I'm only coming by faith. It's not that I've been, but I'm coming by faith.
Right.
There's nothing I can see because there was nothing I could see. That there is a house, there is a car, there is money. There was nothing I could see, but I told him, I'm coming by faith.
Seriously?
So that's what scared me.
Why I'm laughing, I'm seeing myself always fighting with my husband if he was a pastor, because like, I mean, like, they're so funny. Like you said, you have saved a huge amounts of money and says, oh, the Spirit says that we should donate, we should give this much amount of money. And you know, next week, kids are going back to school, you know. Oh, the Spirit says that we should give away this car. And you know, this is a family car. This is, I kind of relate. So how is it now?
Yeah, right. Of course, right now things are okay, but like you said, one thing I remember that our senior pastor told me about him. He told me, "You're accepting this man, but what I know about Robert is he's a person who gives. He can give everything in the house. He will give out everything that he has. He can give out all his clothes and remain with what he's wearing. So, are you ready?" Be ready. He's one person who gives and gives. So after accepting him, I knew that he's a type who gives. And there's a time we had is it a fundraising event at church where they were helping out. And I remember him giving out his suit, the suit he wore on our wedding, giving out his kanzu, giving out a TV that we had at home. And I'm one person who likes watching TV. And my dear, it was tough. It was tough. But because I was warned beforehand, I was told that he was a person who gives. I accepted it. I just wanted to see how it will all go, to see how God is going to work it out.
I feel like I don't know how to say, but I feel like a pastor's wife is always living in the life of misery. So just think about that. I mean, like giving away the wedding suit. Yes, by now it wouldn't be fitting, but to me, I want it to be there. Or giving away the TV. You like watching TV. So, I mean, it puts you in a situation where there was some distress. So how do you overcome that pain and just like, okay.
It wasn't really pain because the Bible says that when you give, it's more blessed to give than to receive. Many times we want to be given, everybody, it's more blessed to give than to receive. So what I've realized in his giving, every time we give, there is a way in which God opens the doors and provides through other people. And when you give, it's not exactly the person you've given that will give you back.
That's true.
Instead, your provision will come through someone else, not exactly that person.
That's
so
right.
I've seen God opening doors. I've seen God providing for us at home. We've never lacked. The truth is we've never lacked.
Right.
There is a way in which God kept opening doors. God kept providing for us, and I've never, ever complained.
Great.
So I just decided to trust God. And indeed, when you trust God, he does work.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, people who are watching us or who will be watching us later. Today on Flash Show, we are so privileged and so to be having a guest who is a pastor's wife, Mrs. Lilian Lugolovi. Please go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you have any comment, if you have any question, please send it into the comment section down there. So there was this part that I really want us to explore more. I understand that your pastor, your wife, your husband, your husband is a man. That was a slip of tongue. He's a man. Your husband was here and you were back home in Africa. How was it like? A pastor's wife. I don't know whether you are still running the ministry, and I know you have kids who are still back home and your husband was here. How was that long distance relationship? How was your life? How did you feel about it?
Him making a decision to travel to the USA, we sat down as a family and agreed. He used to travel earlier, before he would come, stay for 3 months, come back home, stay for 3 months, then come back like that. And every time he would come back with money. We would spend it on rent, school fees, etc. And it would get finished. So this time round, he sits me down and is like, I don't like this kind of life. I keep coming, going. Every time I come with money, we spend it. It gets finished. I go back, get money. I think I need to make a decision to stay for good, work, have something, work out something. Either we build a house, either we start a business, or do something for the family. So I think I need to travel and stay for good. So we agreed, okay, if you're to travel, how long are you going to spend there? So we agreed 5 years. We agreed, okay, let's make it 5 years. So we planned. Within 5 years, I think those 5 years will have reached where we want to be. We'll have built a house. We'll have set up something that can look after the family. We'll at least be in a position where we can look after ourselves. So that time he had a running visa. He had a visa that was valid, but it was, I think, expiring in November. And the time we made this discussion was around May, June, yet the visa was expiring in November. So he told me that we better make this decision first before my visa expires, because I need to use this visa to travel. And the beauty in it is I was working already. I was working for a big organization, because the time he got married to me, I was already working. I was in a corporate world, working, earning a monthly salary. So at least I wasn't worried. I was sure I'll be getting something to look after the family. So him leaving meant that I had to take a big step of looking after the family, because he's going to be away for some good time. So it means it's me who has to take on the role to look after the family for a while. Because, you know, when someone has just traveled, don't expect them to start sending you money when they have just crossed over. So it meant that I had to look after the home, which was a good thing to prepare me. So I planned for it. And good enough, our children were still little. They were still some of them were not even going to school. I think it's only one, the firstborn, who was going to nursery. So it meant that they were not taking a lot of money then. They were not taking school fees. It was just about feeding them. And then for the medical part, the organization I worked for had a medical scheme, a medical scheme that covered them. So in case they fell sick, in case they got any medical issue, it was something very simple on my side. It was just a matter of filling a medical form, me taking them to a medical facility, a hospital, whatever, and they get medication. So in that area, I wasn't worried.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about like the relationship stuff, like the marriage, and I'm feeling like, okay, now at this point, I miss my husband. I want to be my husband, or I want to be intimate. I want, you know what I mean, right?
Those moments came, they kept coming. And I remember the time we used to communicate, I would tell him a lot about that, but he would always push it away. He would always, push it away. He would tell me that if you want me to come back, it means those children are going to sit home and they won't go to school. If I dare come back, if I make a decision to come back, it means nothing is going to go on. We are not going to progress. So I had to put all those thoughts away just to keep myself busy. The good thing is I was working. The children kept me busy. And then ministry at church, I was involved in church activities back home. So I try to keep myself busy so that I don't, think about him a lot. I don't, allow, can I call it the devil, or allow my body, or allow my mind to, have those thoughts. I was so busy. So every time I would get home from work, children would keep me busy. And by the time I retire, I'm really damn tired to think about, him, to think about love, to think about, So I would just...
Maybe for you, it's a little bit different because you are already like a Christian. But now think about this lady who's just gotten married and is not a Christian. And then you're communicating on the phone with your husband, and your husband is just like brushing it off. Like, okay, don't even think about it. I'm not about to come because it's like this. So I get a feeling like maybe this person is beginning to say, or to think, like thoughts, and which is human. Like, oh, maybe my husband got somebody, or my husband is now, why is he telling me this? Did you ever get to that point? Like maybe he's seeing somebody, or,
No, I never got those thoughts because my husband has a good integrity. He's a person who is very trustworthy. I had made a search on him before getting married to him. I searched How does he behave? How does he relate? Did he have past relationships before? He never had them. He had a very good integrity, so I trusted that he never had other partners beside me. I trusted that. And then I had not just gotten married. I had already been married for 6 years by the time he he traveled. So I had been with him.
You had seen it all.
Yes. I mean, just imagine 5 years was really good enough with him. I was really with him for all those years. He was there for me. So it wasn't 1 year or two, at least 5 years, 6 years was really good enough for me to really calm down, settle down. And besides, I had little children who really demanded a lot, who needed a lot of my attention. So now, you know, when you have, even if he was around, when you have little children, somehow we mothers, we are always taken up by the babies. We pay attention to the baby than the husband, right? So this time round, the children were so little. So most of my attention was on the babies, on the little children than him. So I said, okay, I think let me just give my attention to the children than him now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically you felt there were no temptations and how about on your side? Like
on my side, there were temptations because as you can see, I still look good.
Exactly,
and I was
still
young. And, my workplace, I used to work with men.
Right.
I was the only female. The work I used to do was a men's work, and I was the only female working amongst so many men. So these men used to tease me. How do you survive without a man? How do you? They used to tease me, but I would also, play jokes with them. I would, just play, just joking around with them, but I never gave in to them because they all knew that I am married and I have someone.
Right.
So giving in to them meant committing adultery, which I wasn't ready for.
Right. Yeah.
So yes, I used to laugh with them, chat with them, but I never gave in to them.
Yeah.
At least they used to respect the fact that I'm married because they attended our wedding and they saw me when I was, getting married and everything. So they respected the fact that I am married and there's someone I belong.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe you are working in a corporate world with understanding men. But now, men these days, they don't care. Even if they see the ring, even if they attended the wedding, they don't care. They will still go for it. But maybe you are kind of
I know
a
they
woman.
do that, but it's up to you, the woman.
Yeah.
They don't care, so they keep testing you to see.
Yeah.
Can you give in? So, of course, they did that. They tested me. They tried to trick me. They tried to do whatever they did, but I never gave in.
Right.
I never gave in to them. So, after failing to give in, they realized, I think she's serious. She knows what she wants.
Yes.
Those tests are always there. Right. But the moment you give in to them, the moment you give them a chance, they will know that, this one is an easy go.
Yeah.
And another thing that made me not give in is the way men behave. When you give in to one, he will be the one to tell the rest. That one I already tried her. This is how she is.
Yeah, exactly.
You can also give it a try.
Yeah.
She's easy.
Right.
So when I realized that is how men do their thing.
Yeah.
When you give in to one, the other one tells the other that is how. I said, okay, I think I'm not going to be a playing tool here. No lady wants to be gossiped about. No lady wants to be talked about. So I pictured myself being talked about amongst, three men. This is how she looks like. This is how I said, okay, to myself, Lillian, don't ever do that.
Right.
Or else you're going to be the talk.
And somebody out there could be asking a question like, so suppose it was only like one person like this saying like, okay, we want to do it, and the rest will be like, okay, please. Maybe they plan, these men plan. They plan, okay, you know what? If I go, please, nobody should ever say something. So suppose it was that one person and like, you know what? And it's a deal. Let us try and you see what happens. Would you have given in? Like, you will not be talked about and they give you a deal. You don't have to answer that. That's like a teaser question. Okay. Thank you so much. I believe like Pastor Robert Rugorovi could be watching us. Thank you so much. I like your husband. He's kind of a humble person. He's one of the pastors like really welcomes you always smiling. I don't know what's the secret. Always jovial, always happy. Is one of the person that I go to, and he knows it that I like your church. I like him. He's so free. I like you, Pastor Robert. I send you greetings here, Flasho. Thank you so much. So, how was the transitioning like coming to America? How was it? What were like the shock, the culture? How was it?
The transitioning wasn't difficult because we knew it. It didn't just come as in boom. It didn't just, we knew it because he filed for us. So we were expecting it. He prepared me. He told me that anytime you will receive an email, anytime you might receive a phone call inviting you for an interview at the US Embassy. So get yourself ready. I want you people to cross over. So he had been preparing me for a long time. So when this time came, when I got this email inviting me for an interview, I remember the email came in 2024, June 2024. I even didn't see the email. I was busy at work. But then while at work, we were trying to play around with mails at work because I was trying to make some communication using my mail and using the work mail. So I was using my mail to transfer a certain document onto my mail. In that process, that's when I came across the mail from the embassy inviting me for the interview. And I'm like, you mean this mail came in days back and I never saw it?
I remember Pastor talking about it. Yes.
And this is something I've been waiting for years and years. And so immediately I saw it. I first finished up the work that I was doing. Then during my lunch break, I sat aside and read through the whole mail and then forwarded it to him and told him, better read the details. This is the mail we've been waiting for, because it had all the details of the documents I was supposed to prepare to take for the interview. The mail came in June and the interview was scheduled for September. So they give you enough time to get ready. That is about 3 months, because they need important documents which you need to work on.
Yeah.
So when I got that email, I had to get those documents ready one by one. Good enough. Some of them I already had them since I had traveled before, like passports. I already had the passports. They were ready. So I just had to gather to get ready all the other documents. And when I got them ready, now time came for the interview in September, and the time the interview was scheduled, children were at school back home. So, and my children go to boarding school. So it meant I had to pick them from school to come for the interview. So what I did is I looked at when are they reporting back? I realized they are reporting back a week earlier before the interview. So I had to make a decision. Should I take them to school, then pick them for the interview? I keep them home, then I take them once and for all. Now they were in, serious classes where I didn't want them to miss class, to copy notes and all of that. So what I did, I took them to school, but I made sure that their school authorities get to know that I'll pick them in 1 week's time. And I notified them that they have an important interview. So because of that, I have to pick them up for just that interview, and then I'll bring them back.
Okay.
So that is how I did it. So I brought them, and then I prepared the children that very soon we shall be traveling to the US to meet your dad.
So their mind was ready.
They started
Everything
to
you
prepare.
guys were ready.
Yes.
Your families, your relatives were ready.
No, the relatives were not
Who
ready.
didn't know. Oh, okay.
The relatives, we agreed with Pastor not to tell any relative about it.
Okay.
Because the challenge with telling relatives, you don't know what their thoughts are.
Yeah.
They are mixed.
Right.
Feelings. Some of them don't like it because everyone wants to live around family.
Right. Yeah.
Everyone, because, for instance, my family, I was supporting them badly that if I told them I'm leaving, that wouldn't be good news to them.
Right.
So we agreed with Pastor not to tell any relative. He told me, you know what? We are working on this, but don't tell any close relative about it. Let us work it out until the last dot, until the final lap. That's when we'll see whether to tell them or not. So I did all of this without my family knowing.
Okay.
Yes.
And then getting to the airport and the last day, that's when you say, okay,
no,
I have to go. Just
shortly before the day for leaving, I think in that last week, is when I visited my mother. Is when I visited my mother, and I sat her down. I think it was one weekend. I made a phone call to her and I'm like, are you at home? Yes, I am. I'm coming to visit. And she thought it was, like any other visit.
The regular visit, yeah.
I usually visit over the weekend, take them stuff. So this time round when I visited, I sat her down and I'm like, look here, mommy, there is this information I have to pass on. Life is going to change. We are moving as a family. We are moving to another country. I'm going to move with my children. I have to now start a new life of staying with my husband. It's been long. This is how it's going to be like. The responsibilities have been taken. This is how I suggest you're going to handle. Of course, she was in shock. She couldn't believe the first time she heard the news. But then I had already worked out how she's going to survive, who is going to take care of what. I had already figured all that out. So I told her, this is so-and-so is going to take care of this. This is the person I suggest will take care of our house. This is how things are going to work out.
Right.
What do you have to say? If you have anything to say about it, if you have any ideas on how I should go about it, please let me know.
Right.
And because I was now going to start staying with my husband, she was very happy because she had been worried for so many years, ever since I got married, since we were apart with my husband. She kept worrying about me. She thought the relationship had fallen apart.
Oh.
She thought that the marriage had fallen apart and that it would be no more, like any parent.
Yeah.
Look at my daughter. She got married, but she's been alone. She's been living as a single mother for all these years. So she had been worried for so many years. So since the transition was about meeting my husband and us staying together, that really made sense to her, and she was really happy. Much as it was somehow bad news that I was partying, but at least on the other side, she was happy for me that at least finally I'm meeting my husband and we are now coming together to stay as a family.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, it sounds like everything went on well, like from in back home, family, like the transition was good. Yeah, to take you back, you mentioned about how like your husband was not like, you never had these emotions of, okay, my husband got, maybe he hurt somebody or stuff like that. So what I want to mention is trust. Trust is very, 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 very important in marriage. My husband knows that most of my friends are males. Like, even if you told my husband, like, oh, we found Flavia somewhere in the corner standing with a male, he would not like say nothing would cross his mind like, oh, what were they doing? I have now to call Flavia. I have to trust. Trust in marriage is very, very important. So people who are watching us, make sure you build your trust. Like, one thing that works in marriage is trust. Much as people say that communication begins somewhere, but trust is very, very, very important. Okay, to continue with that. So the transition back home is good. What were your expectations like when you got here? Were you also well prepared? Like, or what was that? Maybe like culture shock? How was it to you? Was it what were told the real expectations?
Yeah, of course. I expected the children to change schools. What I was scared about is the transition because the way the academic is done back home is totally different. Here, the grading system is different. They are in different. So I knew they are going to change grades. So now my worry was, so this one who was supposed to sit for primary living examination, which grade is he going in? Because I heard one of the boys had just finished his primary living examinations and the results were out. And he was supposed to join secondary in Uganda. So now he came to the USA. So my worry was like, now which grade is he going to? How are we going to go about it? But the good thing is that the USA has a very beautiful system, a system where when your child comes in, cannot fail to fit in where he's supposed to be. They look at the child's age, they look at the academic record and see where he fits, and they exactly fit him where he's supposed to fit. And it really worked for me very well. All I had to do was just to work on their vaccines, to work on the academic, the academic records, because they needed to know, have they been in school before? If they've been in school, where are their reports? So when I was coming, I made sure I packed their reports, especially the most recent reports, because they needed them.
Yes.
They needed to look at the background to see their grades, to see how they were performing. And then they also gave them interviews. They gave them tests, English and math. They had to do those tests. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
To rate them, to see where they should be. Should this one go in this grade? Should this one go in this grade? So I prepared them. You're going to do these tests. Some of them are going to be oral, others are going to be written. Get ready. And they got ready.
Okay.
So we were ready for that.
Yeah.
And they knew that they are going now to change school to US schools. We prepared them that you're going to study with whites. You're going to study with
people who are a little bit different.
and the way they speak English is totally different. So
Right.
you have to work on your English. No more speaking your local language.
Right.
Make sure you speak good English. So they were ready for it. They were ready for it.
Could there be some like culture shock that
Of
you
course,
have?
yeah, they had the culture shock. And that was the way the English is spoken here is totally different from the
Yes.
way it is spoken back
Yeah.
home. So every time they would speak to them, somehow they wouldn't hear what they were.
Yes.
So it really took them a while to grasp, to know what is he trying to say, what is he asking for.
Exactly.
Yes, that was the culture
Yeah.
shock. And then they were all quiet, I think, in class for the first
Yeah.
the first months. You can't interact.
Right.
You can't say anything because you're still new.
Yeah, exactly.
These whites are looking at you and they're like, is this a black monkey? Is this a black? Look at this black. There was that.
Yeah.
But later on, they got used to them. They now have friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there particular things that they could come home and they tell you and you are shocked about it? As a mother, you would feel bad.
Yes, things like the whites talking about them, one whispering to the other.
Oh.
Look at this. Look at how he smiles. Look at how he eats.
Oh.
Especially when they would have meals during meal time, like lunch. Look at how he eats. Look at how they wouldn't sit at the same table with them because they are supposed to sit at the same table, but every time one would sit at a table, the rest would pile up and, see, that wasn't a good thing.
Right, yeah.
But we told them we expect all of that to come.
Yeah.
Expect it, but within no time, they will get used to you.
Was there a time where the kids would say, I don't want to go back to school. I don't want to, because it can happen.
Yes, no. Mine came when they were already old. They had already passed that age of, can I say, middle school, where they are still little, where they still have that.
Okay.
Mine came when they were a little older. They were already teenagers.
Okay.
When you're at a teenage age, you're somehow more grown up, and you can make certain decisions. You can't say, I don't want to go to school.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Because back home, they were in boarding school. And when you're in boarding school back home, you're independent. You know how to do. You can wake yourself up. You prepare your books. You plan for your day. So they knew all of that. They knew all of that.
Okay.
So they couldn't tell me that I can't go to school. I don't feel like, no, they never did that.
So that is part of the kids. How about you as a person? What were some culture shocks, or what were you told that you will find this and things will be like this and this, but unfortunately you did not get to see that?
My culture shock was work. The work environment here is totally different. First of all, here, when you're applying for jobs, you apply online. You use your phone. Because back home, we read newspapers, write paperwork, go drop the application yourself physically. Here, you don't do that. You have to apply online. You use your phone. Everything can be done on phone. So I had to make sure I keep checking on my phone.
Right.
I work on having my email all the time, keep, online, keep checking. And then the other culture shock is the kind of work, because I wasn't going to do the same work I was doing back home. Back home, I was sitting in an office doing official work, but this time round, things changed. I was told that you may have to change the kind of work you've been doing. Here, you will just embrace whatever comes your way, as long as you're getting paid.
Right.
Just accept whichever job comes in as long as you get paid for it. Because the way to go is you have to pay bills, you have to run, your life has to keep running. So I accepted that, and I'm like, it's not easy when you're coming from an office dressing smartly.
Dressing, yeah.
And then this kind of work you're going to do, you just put on trousers, you just dress anyhowly, you don't put on, uniform, you don't. Yeah. And it took me several months to get a job. I sat home for some good months. I told myself, Lillian, relax. In any case, you've worked for so many years. You better relax. I think take a leave of all these months. Relax. Take your time. Don't rush into American jobs. Take your time. When the time is right, you'll get this job and that's what I did. I decided to relax.
Yeah. How about the food, the interactions, the language itself? How was it for you?
The food,
but we have African food.
Yeah, where we stay, the beauty we have is that the state in which we stay has a lot of African food. So with the food, I didn't have any issues because here we can prepare our local meals.
Yeah.
Instead, I liked the junk food that they eat.
Yeah, exactly.
For a change.
For a change, yes.
I rarely take those cheese. I rarely eat pizzas in my life. So I was looking forward to them anyway, eat them because it's been a while for me to eat them. Back home, for you to eat those foods, you have to spend money on them. This time round here, it's very easy to eat them. So I looked forward to testing.
How about the language? Like where you walk into the office and you're speaking and they're like, what did you say?
The language wasn't really a shock because the beauty we have with back home, our country was colonized by the British, so we speak English.
Right.
And because our country is an English-speaking country, it's very easy to navigate. All you have to do is just to change your accent. Right. It's just the accent that I needed to change, the way I pronounce the letters for a white or a person who is in office to, hear me.
Right.
That's all I had to do, which is something very easy.
Yeah. How about the lifestyle? Like maybe seeing people eating on a rush, like, okay, I have to go and they're getting pizza because they have to go. In America is like, you have to be, how they say America runs on Dunkin' Donut. So you have to, you know what that means? Like, because you don't have time to make breakfast home. So you go to, every morning you find all Dunkin' Donuts, like cars are like, you have
to pick something.
Exactly. So they are eating while they are walking. The kind of dressing. Now, your pastor's wife, the kind of dressing. Was that kind of a shock to you?
No, it wasn't a shock. Actually, it helped me because the time I came, I was big. Can I say I was heavy?
Right.
I was big. So the eating, I made sure I do well with eating. I wasn't really taken up with the eating.
Okay.
So it has really helped me because many people are telling me that I've cut weight. But the way the weight went, I don't know. But I think it's because of not eating. So I haven't really been eating much. I decided to do well with the eating.
Right.
So to me, it has been a blessing in disguise. It has helped me cut weight. Okay. It has helped me, go back to the size I had always wanted. So I'm not really into eating.
Oh.
I only eat once, maybe when I get home. So it is a discipline. It helped me. It was a discipline on my side.
Right. Thank you so much, people who joined us on this show. I've been hosting a pastor's wife and who just came from Africa, Uganda to America. So we talked about transitioning and how it feels like. She's a family person, how children transition into different states or different countries. That was, hope you picked something. So, but before we end, we're about to end. As a pastor's wife, what is your role in the society, or how has that community or society labeled you? What are your expectations? What impact has the society put on you, and you feel like it shouldn't be like this? I feel I'm being squeezed. I feel I'm on the wall. I feel I want to take off this heart of being a pastor's wife.
As a pastor's wife, people have high expectations from you. They expect you to be a prayerful wife all the time in church praying. And America is about work. You have to balance work, church, family. So they think that your life is about just prayer. You're supposed to be, yet you also have to work because you have a family that is looking up to you, and you have to support the pastor to pay the bills. So their expectation is that you have to visit them. You have to, and
To call each one and everybody.
you have to call each, check on them. Actually, I have one person who is up to now pissed off because I haven't visited.
Yes, it happens. Yeah.
Because I'm in America, time is money here. The time you spend going to visit someone, you must have planned for it. And you don't go there for hours and hours that you've come to visit. So they have high expectations, but their expectations are somehow not being
Unrealistic,
met.
yeah.
But I say to myself, Lillian, be yourself. Don't be a people pleaser. Do what you think really makes you feel happy.
Yeah.
So I've tried to really balance. I communicate to them on phone. At least I make sure I communicate with people on phone. If I'm not able to do a task, like for instance, visit someone, I send there someone else.
Right.
I talk to my other fellow women in church and I'm like, I mobilize them. Can you please go help me check on?
But you know they don't like that.
I
They
know
want
they
the
don't.
pastor.
They want me
It's
in
different.
particular. Yes, they want me in particular to go. But I'm trying my best. It's not easy, but I'm trying. Good enough. The congregation I have we are still small in number.
Yeah.
So it's at least reachable. At least I can reach one by one
The
slowly.
only
It's not
technique
easy.
you have, I know it's not easy. So to maintain the small congregation, you have to make sure you
Yes.
check on them. You have to make
Yes.
sure that you go into their houses. It's hard.
It's hard.
And especially we are in the same community where we have come like from Uganda. This is what pastors' wives are doing. They are calling because they don't have what to do. They've built their own houses. They're not paying bills. They're not paying car bills. They're not paying whatever. It's really, really, really tough.
Yeah,
I
it's
usually
very
tell my pastor's wife, like, I want you to be a Ugandan pastor's wife.
Yeah.
Get the lesu, cover yourself, go to church, and you plant the flowers around the church. That's what they do. But I mean, like, it's always a joke, but it's tough.
It's tough.
So, yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. Any last remarks maybe to a pastor's wife there or to a woman who is intending to be a pastor's wife? What have you got to say to them? Like, just look into the camera and stress that point right there.
Yeah, any woman, any young lady out there who is ready or who is planning to become a pastor's wife, I don't know if you've already got your spouse yet or not yet, but in case God chooses that special man to be your husband and that man is a pastor and that man is called of God, be ready to live a life of faith. That's one of the things I have to tell you. Be ready to live a life of faith. What do I mean here? Don't expect everything to be done, everything to be in place for you. Trust. You have to be ready to trust God for everything in your life.
Yeah.
The way you live your life is trusting God and also to support your husband in everything, because these men break down. These men need our support. They need us to stand by them, to pray for them, to be with them, to encourage them, because the congregations they lead out there break them, pull them down. But you as a pastor's wife, you're the one supposed to encourage him, to pump this energy into him, to read to him the Bible and tell him this is what the Bible is telling us. We shall be well. You will be this. You have to keep encouraging him. That is what I keep doing. I accepted it and I keep doing it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. That is great advice. My greetings to Pastor Robert Rugalovi. My greetings to the children. The children are looking good. They are bright. They are so like grown. They fit in. They fit in. Thank you so much, everybody who tuned in today. Please, like I said, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can find me on different social media handles. This has been your very own Flavia K. Stay blessed.